Hello guys, good evening. So today let us talk about a database management system. So what is data basically? So data is nothing but the information, right? So basically the set of data. For example, so now you might be very much like looking at the COVID-19 website, right? So you have data like how many cases have come every day, plus how many cases actually each state, each country holds, right? That is basically data. So it's a pieces of information. Basically, once you combine this data with some relations, so you will get information. Basically, I'll just open COVID-19 website, for example. Here you see the numbers, right? So for example, Maharashtra is a data, and 4022 11 is a data, 4,22,118 is a data, 1,50,000 is a data. So if with only data, so you can't understand anything, right? So if you relate this data with a kind of relationships, so you can actually form something called as information, so which will be predictable, understandable, right? For example, state Maharashtra has 4,22,118 confirmed cases. State Maharashtra has 1,50,662 active cases, right? So basically, when we started our old ages, right? So how do we used to store the data? We used to store all the data in the papers or files. So one disadvantage about these files is that, for example, I want you to create some data, right? So Surya will create a set of data which is Maharashtra, this is the number. So by the time you send it across to me via post or via a courier, so by the time it reaches me, the data might be changed. So the confirmed cases which are now 4,22,118 or might be changed, right? So there will be again duplication of data. So you have like 4,20,118 confirmed cases with you. So but by the time it reaches me, it might be changed. Actually real facts are different, right? So for example, I got to know some cases in my area and I update number of cases, but you will be having old number itself, right? So the problem with storing data in files is that redundancy. So if you update one file, it needs update across the files. For example, all Tumkur people will have one file if you consider. So all the people in the Tumkur should be updated, which is very tedious task, right? And so the data should be duplicated if you see, right? So you should have one copy, I should have one copy. So lakhs of people who are in Tumkur should also have one copy each, which is unrealistic, right? So you can't imagine having those many copies of data. So that's why, so we actually discovered something called as database management system. We first discovered something called as database. What we decided, so instead of storing data in the files, let us store data in something called as relations. So relations are nothing but tables. So for example, if you want to store data of COVID-19 patient, so I will have like different tables. For example, I'll have data like state, confirmed, active, and build a database firstly. So what actually you need now is a tabular format of data. So basically here, so how do I want to store the like information about different states COVID cases, right? So it is with the help of a table called something like cases table. So for example, if you want to know which hospitals have reported, which cities have reported these particular things, so you'll have one more table called cities. And here again, so you'll have different columns of data, right? So for example, city will have a name, city will have latitude, longitude, and you'll also have like confirmed cases, so active cases, right? So all this information will be there in the cities table. So basically what do we do is we try to represent the data in tabular format, right? So like first, whenever you are given any problem statement, for example, I'll just compose a problem statement for COVID-19 situation. So city will have latitude, longitude, and you'll also have like confirmed cases, so active cases, right? So all this information will be there in the cities table. So basically what do we do is we try to represent the data in tabular format, right? So like first, whenever you are given any problem statement, for example, I'll just compose a problem statement for COVID-19 situation. Example, COVID-19 tracking app. So I'll just compose a small requirement. So let's say, um, so as the COVID-19 cases are increasing day by day, Government of India had called up for a live application to track the COVID cases coming from different hospitals where, and also update the recovery state of each each patient, and the information should be well organized according to states states city and states districts and taluks. So this is the for example, this is the requirement document which is provided to you. Okay, this is the application which is given to you to start developing. So if you are given such an application, so what you ideally should do is you should actually choose way to store the data. So one way to store the data is in the files. So every state, every hospital will actually note down like name of the patient, so what are all the details of the patient, and actually send that file across the post or email to the concerned department. So for example, home minister's office, for example. So each hospital will send the data. So if you store the data in different files, right, so it will be not easy for you to maintain that, right? So then you have chosen database management system. So then even in database management systems, there are three different types of database management systems. So the first one of the kind is hierarchical database management system, wherein you store the data in the form of hierarchies. So for example, parent child, grandchildren, like that. So the second type of database management system is network database system. So here also you'll have different nodes, but there won't be any parent child relationship. Everyone is a sibling of everyone here. So there won't be hierarchical relationship though. So each parent can have multiple parents, not one parent, right? So in hierarchical, you should have like one parent for each sibling. So for example, um, so how you actually represent hierarchical data? So you'll have parent, children. For this children parent, another two children. For this parent another two children, for this parent another two children. So for this parent another two, for this parent another two, for this parent another two. So for this parent another two, this parent another two, this parent another two, like that. But so if you come to network based like database management system, right? So everything is connected like a node. So there won't be any father child relationship. So everyone is connected here. So for example, like this, like this. So it can be even closed or non-closed network also. So like this. So the third type of database management system is called as relational database management system. So the data will be stored in the form of tables. So each table will be related to other table with the help of something called as referential integrity. So we'll talk about referential integrity in a while. So first, let us have a look at this particular requirement, and what you should do is you should draft all the nouns. Okay, so can you guys quickly tell me what are all the nouns you see in the requirement document? So you see cases. So COVID-19 is a noun. You should talk. COVID-19 is a noun.
Cases.
Cases. Next.
India.
India is a noun. Okay.
Hospitals.
Hospitals.
One minute. Let's number this, guys. So then hospitals is a noun. Next.
State.
State is a noun.
Patient.
So patient is a noun. Districts is a noun, right? Taluks is a noun, right? Then what else you see? So can we combine like taluk, district and state into one thing? Even India is a country, right? Right. So we can generalize these things and we can call it as place, right? So I'll just rewrite this, and so place, and instead of all this we will have type of the place. So whether it is a city, taluk or district, right? So any other modifications you can do? So COVID-19 is a noun, but so what actually is that? Disease, right? So we can make this application reusable for any other pandemic which might come in the future after 100 years also, right? So let's develop the application in such a way, right? So now these are the nouns. So what you should do ideally is you should create an entity for each noun which you see in the requirement document. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. Where is my paint? Okay, so what are all the what are all the tables you saw? First one is disease, right? Okay, so for example, The first one which we came across is this is right. The second one, this is, and next is place. Come on, Sushma.
Cases, patient,
Cases, and next is patient, right? So next, hospitals, hospital. Next, all covered. So type. So for each kind of entity you see, for each noun which you see in your requirement document, you should actually identify the nouns. So from the nouns, you should just do some simplifications and then capture them as entities.